That Nintendo Direct really felt like it was made for those of us who grew up with the DS, the Wii, and the 3DS, because not only did we get that awesome new trailer for the new Tomodachi Life game, Living the Dream, we also got confirmation that after nearly a decade, Rhythm Heaven is returning with this new entry, Rhythm Heaven Groove, releasing in 2026, and it brings me so much joy to say that. I really thought that, like, maybe down the line we would get another one, but I did not expect it right now. I didn't expect it to be a Switch 1 game. I didn't expect them to announce it anytime soon or release it anytime soon. Well, I guess they're kind of not releasing it anytime soon because that release date is way further off than most Nintendo games have. But today we are talking about Rhythm Heaven Groove and how happy that announcement makes me as a lifelong Rhythm Heaven fan. It just brings me so much joy to see this series revived and to see how much interest there is in this new entry. Of course, if you are new to the channel and you enjoy Rhythm Heaven, but also Nintendo Switch 2, and all that fun stuff, I would appreciate you subscribing. Let's get into it. Alrighty, welcome back to the channel. I hope your day is going well. Rhythm Heaven Groove, man, what a timeline. What a timeline we're living in. We got a Direct that had a new Rhythm Heaven and a new Tomodachi Life. It feels good. I got so many comments and tweets at me saying that was like the Botox Games Direct, because these are both franchises that I've been championing for so long to see revived. Tomodachi Life, I expected eventually because of how popular it was on 3DS, but Rhythm Heaven in comparison, while it has found moderate success based on, like, you know, this type of game it is, the scale of the game, it's never really been a game that hits the masses and sells millions and millions of copies. The DS game is the best-selling one. That sold, I believe, around 3 million, which is, I mean, great for what Rhythm Heaven is, but it's not, you know, a 10 million plus seller. So to see Nintendo come out and in the final Nintendo Direct focused on Switch 1 games, to see one of their two major announcements be Rhythm Heaven, this franchise that has been so long dormant, and the series that's never really hit the masses in a way that, like, Tomodachi Life did, it really meant something to me to see this pop up in the way that it did. I'll admit the trailer is a little funny. I'll play a little bit of my reaction here, audio warning. Oh my God, what? No way. No! It's kind of crazy how fast you can recognize Rhythm Heaven. It is so unique in its art style while also having several different art styles. The sound fonts that they use, it was immediately recognizable, and this trailer is a little slow, right? You just have you have you here jumping through hoops, and immediately it's like, oh, this is Rhythm Heaven, and it's so great to see it back. We don't see that much of the game in this teaser because it is not coming out until 2026. We'll talk more about that in just a second, but what we do see is very promising. I like, you know, our first look at our Rhythm Heaven game in HD. It's also just like, only Nintendo, man. Only Nintendo could have this in the Direct. These little white circular dudes frowning, making weird faces as they jump through hoops. Only they could make that the crux of their trailer and have four dudes screaming in the corner of like, oh my God, this franchise is back. Only Nintendo, man. But yeah, we see this first mini game here where you have to jump through hoops to the beats. We also see one where it's these the lucky cat statues that you see in a lot of Japanese imagery. They're kind of like jumping and rolling around. Then we have this feels very classic Rhythm Heaven here, this like bird one where you're flapping your wings in unison, presumably with the white bird in the front in unison. He's like your leader. There's a mini game where this guy holding a hammer is crushing cans. This is where the trailer kind of lost me a little bit, actually, because up until this point, there's still like a beat to the rhythm of the music you're hearing. But then when they start showing this, I was like, oh, it's completely not in sync with anything that's, you know, being heard. So we'll see how this one plays. Kind of reminds me of Philbots, I guess, where it looks like you'll be pressing to like kind of cue up your hammer. You'll wait until your character's face gets fully red and then smash it down on time. Then there's also this one of this lady cooking up something in the kitchen, catching fruit from both sides. There's a very tried and true Rhythm Heaven art style here of this girl playing jump rope. I love the I love the empty water bottle or soda bottle in the bottom right. And the best part is that's actually what you're controlling in this section. You're not controlling the girl. I didn't notice that at first. You're actually controlling the bottle and making sure you jump rope with her. And then the last one we get a little glimpse of is this little alien squatting game where, you know, once again, you're squatting in rhythm with the other aliens. I love that the one that you're playing as has a cute little red ribbon on her ear. That's awesome. There's also one more minigame that pops up in the Nintendo Direct, but it's not in the trailer trailer if you just go to the trailer on their YouTube channel. So definitely check out the Nintendo Direct itself. While they're talking about the game, giving an overview, there is one final mini game of this muscular guy on a beach with a sunset where there's a pigeon in the background playing a guitar, and you have to like balance the fruits on your muscles, and they're bouncing on each muscle. Looks pretty fun. And even though we didn't see that many new mini games here, just seeing anything new at all after so long without much new feels really good. I mean, even Megamix, which I love. I mean, Megamix might be the best game in the series just because it is the celebration. It has all the old stuff in there, or a lot of the old stuff in there, but also some new stuff. The last fully new Rhythm Heaven game was Rhythm Heaven Fever, which I want to say came out in 2012 in America. So this is our first fully new, from the ground up, Rhythm Heaven in like 14 years by the time it releases. Now, we'll have to wait and see if they do end up bringing back some classics. I think they will. Maybe they'll have a separate section. Maybe it won't be part of like your main story or whatever, but they'll have a little side area where you're going into a cafe or some sort of side menu and you're playing Karate Man or, you know, that kind of thing. But it's still cool to see just, I mean, this is our first HD Rhythm Heaven game, and these are all new mini games, and that is awesome. Let's talk about that release date though. So this is the first of 2 gut punches in the Nintendo Direct, the other one being Tomodachi Life Living the Dreams release dates. But you're watching this trailer, you're all hyped up. Given how Nintendo has been announcing and releasing games recently, I was watching this and I was like, oh dude, we're playing this in like a month or 2, right? Like usually they announce something and it's out very quickly as of late, but then you see that 2026 pop up on the screen and my soul dropped. It hurts. Like, I'm so excited for this game, and I'm just grateful it exists. But also seeing 2026 at the end of this trailer was, it hurt. It really, really hurts. And it makes me wonder, like, okay, well, is this like a January thing? Rhythm Heaven isn't this massive series, so I feel like January or February next year. I don't think it's going to be deep into the year. Tomodachi Life, I think it will be a little bit later, but Rhythm Heaven Groove, man, that's got to be a January game, right? We'll see. I mean, sometimes there are random Nintendo games that they announce way too early and then they don't come out for way too long. This one had some, you know, strenuous circumstances, but like Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp, that got delayed like a year and a half. But even like last year or the year before with Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, I mean, they announced that game a full year in advance, and it's just a remaster. So we'll see. Maybe this is a later 2026 game, but I'm going to put money on it being like January or February. Rhythm Heaven, I think, is a little similar to Tomodachi Life in that it has gained a lot of a fandom after its last release, because we saw stuff like Rhythm Studio, I want to say it was called, that fan project that Nintendo actually shut down. So I think we know why they shut it down now. It's because they were planning a new Rhythm Heaven, which obviously that's unfortunate. But I think over time, since Megamix came out, the series has gained a lot of popularity with people that maybe weren't even really around to be playing it back in 2015 when Megamix released. So when you account for all of the new fans that maybe discovered the series after Megamix released, but also all of the old fans that have been playing it since a Rhythm Heaven on DS, or maybe even Rhythm Tengoku on the GBA if you imported it or, you know, played it through an emulator, I think this has a good chance, a good shot at being the most popular Rhythm Heaven game to date. In fact, given the Switch's install base and the fact that this is also going to be on Switch 2, or, you know, playable on Switch 2, you're going to have 2 baked-in audiences there. I'd be shocked if this isn't the biggest one. I do think this will outsell the Rhythm Heaven game on DS. And I mean, just based on the social media numbers, it's all anecdotal, but I liked showing it off in my Tomodachi Life video, the massive amount of likes that Tomodachi Life Living the Dream has. Rhythm Heaven Groove, or Rhythm Heaven Miracle Stars, as it's called in Japan, not doing too bad for itself. 240k likes on this tweet at the time of recording, with it only growing, making it still one of the most liked tweets on Nintendo Japan's accounts, which is really great to see. Once again, only Nintendo, man. Only Nintendo can have this trailer with these little dudes being goofy and get 240,000 likes. And the same thing can be said for the Japanese Nintendo YouTube channel, where you see here Tomodachi Life Living the Dream, 1.3 million, by far the most views of any trailer from that Nintendo Direct. But there you have Rhythm Heaven Groove, or once again Miracle Stars, at a 900,000 views next to Pokemon Legends EA. Of course, that's going to be a massive one. You look at some of the other stuff there. I mean, to be fair, it wasn't like the craziest Direct in the world in terms of like multiple massive announcements. Metroid Prime Beyond in Japan not doing the numbers it needs to be doing, but Metroid obviously has never been as massive in Japan. And I mean, hey, it's not quite as impressive, but still, seeing a Rhythm Heaven game with 430k views on Nintendo of America's YouTube account is still pretty exciting, and I think promising for what this game's ceiling could be in terms of success. So yeah, with all that said, I am filled with childlike whimsy. There's no other way to put it, man. I am filled with childlike whimsy with the announcement of Rhythm Heaven Groove, especially because beyond it being kind of a niche thing overall, there were more reasons than just, oh, Rhythm Heaven doesn't sell that insanely well. There were more reasons to believe that they wouldn't bring it back, and maybe this is in large part a reason why we haven't seen it for over a decade now, or almost a decade. But Tsunku, the person who does the soundtrack and works on Rhythm Heaven very closely, he was actually diagnosed with laryngeal cancer in, I want to say, 2014 or 2015. So because of that, it kind of felt like the series was out for the count. He had actually lost his voice because he had to remove his vocal cords or vocal folds, I believe, due to the cancer. So I don't really know how this all works, but he is working on this new game, and if he's feeling good enough to work on a new Rhythm Heaven game, that does make me happy. It makes me happy for his health, but also just, once again, the fact that the series that I love so near and dear is coming back like that, it makes me very happy, you know, not to repeat myself, but man, I really kind of can't believe it. But as always, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Are you excited for Rhythm Heaven Groove? Are you planning on picking it up? And also let me know, have you played previous entries? Maybe you're watching this video and Rhythm Heaven Groove is your first time seeing this franchise. Are you interested in it? I'm really curious to see what kind of new audience they can hit with this. I don't know how much they'll do in terms of changing the gameplay. I kind of expect it to be a pretty by-the-numbers Rhythm Heaven game, which is what I want. But I do wonder if there's anything else they could do to maybe appeal to an even wider audience, but still, just based on how much I see about it, I feel like this will be the most successful one since the DS game. In the meantime, until this game does release, I'm going to go back and replay every Rhythm Heaven game. I actually replayed DS over there maybe a year ago, because Olivia got it for me for Christmas, because I had sold my childhood copy. I'm replaying Megamix right now, really enjoying it. Haven't played it since it released, I don't think, and I mean, it's just a blast. And then Rhythm Heaven Fever. Funny story with Rhythm Heaven Fever. I messed up when I was younger. So this game came out, I want to say it was 2012. It was one of the last Wii games that Nintendo published in America. And because of that, and because it was so niche, GameStop was like giving out copies, man. Like you could not get rid of this thing, because I remember going into GameStop and buying it for $1 pre-owned. Like that's how easy it was to get it, because there was too many copies and people weren't buying it up. I sold that copy at some point, and if you know how the collecting market is right now, you'll know that Rhythm Heaven Fever in particular is a very, very expensive Wii game. I think it's actually one of the most expensive Wii games. It's like $200. So I am debating internally if I want to swing that, because it's the only game I'm missing from my collection. But man, that's a lot of money, and I definitely am beating myself up for selling it. But that's one I haven't played since, I mean, probably 2013. I know a lot of people hail Fever as like the best one. So before Groove comes out, I'm definitely going to go back to Fever, replay it, 100% it, whatever, man. Rhythm Heaven is just such a feel-good series, and it feels good. It feels good to see it again. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below on Rhythm Heaven Groove. Are you planning on picking it up when it releases? What do you think of the trailer? When do you think the game will actually release in 2026? And are you planning a little Rhythm Heaven replay like I am throughout 2025 leading up to this new game? As always, subscribe here for more Nintendo Switch, but also Rhythm Heaven Tomodachi Life content. Going to be doing a lot of Tomodachi Life over the next year. Follow me on Twitter at Botox Games. Check out my other channel at It's Amiibo, and you can click on one of these two videos to listen to me ramble even more about Nintendo. Until next time, folks. Peace.